A corrupt government cannot liberate the people. If the head of the stream is corrupt, the entire river will be also.
A blessed good day to you, my wisdom warriors. Wagwan, wagwan. I hope you guys are in good spirit.
1 p.m. for all members of the community to leave to the Holy Family Primary School in the Rockford space. There is no shelter in and around this area, and once you are here, when the storm comes, you will not be assisted to leave. All members of the community, prepare yourself to leave at 1 p.m. today. Bus at the St. Michael's Primary School. You are asked to get ready to leave. This is a flood-prone zone. You are asked to leave the community. You are asked.
This area is normally blocked off. This is a part of the Miami Bay water wheel. Yeah, it's normally a busy thoroughfare, but of course it's not your typical Sunday. Now this area, as you can turn the camera, you can see we have water gushing down this channel. Now this area is normally blocked off. Well, can I tell you, most persons had no idea what was taking place behind the fence, but Miss Melissa took it down. We've been asking around, and I have been told that what's happening behind us there, actually they're building houses. Not sure for whom, but this is a property being operated by Chinese nationals. It's raining, people are going about their business. Well, not much traffic on the roadway, but I can tell you, this is something that a lot of persons are going to be drawn to because it's new as far as they can tell. One assumption is that this water may be coming from the laughing waters, and it's diverted here, it would seem. No, that's an allegation, I'm not sure, but that's what one person told us. So we're gonna see how quickly the workers have been trying to put up back the fence, but it's gone. This is Carolyn Brown reporting for CVM News from St. Anne. This is
Hi, I'm Angela Palmer, Member of Parliament for Southwest St. Anne. And today I'm making an appeal as we wait on Hurricane Melissa to pass through our island to all the residents here in the constituency to be safe. Look around the home, make sure there's nothing loose that the wind can blow. Make sure that, if you're in a flood-prone area, that you go to the shelters. If you know that your home is not safe, secure what you can and get to that shelter. To the people of Majestic Islands in particular, especially down at the bottom, beg you, go up a second. The shelter is open. Yes, the shelter manager is there. I want to see you get there because I want you to see. To the rest of you, look out for your neighbors. Look out for the children, for those with disability. And you see the children, they might be excited now because they don't know what's coming. But you by now should know how serious this is. Talk with them. Share with them their feelings so that whatever the anxiety that they have, whether it is reflected as being happy and excited or not, that you can deal with it. And I beg you, when the storm gets here, we don't have to go out to see what it is like. When it's over, we will have all the time. Stay safe now, catch some water now so that you'll have it. Yes? And what we are doing, the government has made some funds available. And so we are hoping to be able, one, the shelters will be open, they will have provisions in them, cut, food, and so on. When this is over, we're going to take a look to make sure that those of you who need food, that we can help, and maybe not everybody, but we can deal with the most vulnerable. Take care of yourself. Look out for your neighbor. Stay safe.
There is still a likelihood that the system makes a northward turn over the next day or so, and this is likely to occur Based on the GIS track and based on the information from NOAA, it's likely to occur across southern St. Elizabeth. So the track is expected to be taking a northward turn across St. Elizabeth and then passing through Manchester and Trelawney as a possible strong category 4 system before exiting the island the afternoon on Tuesday.
Now, many are asking the question, when can they expect the eye to hit Jamaica?
Based on the track, it should be between about 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon going into about 6 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. So that's between
Monday.
Right. So that's Monday between 2 and 6. However, if changes, that's however if things stay exactly as they are. There's also the likelihood that you don't see the eye of the system moving onshore until about Tuesday, or early Tuesday in the morning, and then passing over the island by the afternoon, Tuesday afternoon, at about between 2 and about 5 p.m.
I know that the eye of the storm has the strongest winds, but based on the capacity or the strength of the storm and the width of the storm, we're likely to see more than that.
Yeah, most places across the island are expected to be under the influence of at least Category 3 winds based on the projection of the system and the current strength.
So Category 3 is expected between tonight into tomorrow, is that what you're saying?
More so tomorrow going into Tuesday. That's when the system is expected to move closest to the island based on the current track.
Some footage coming out of St. Mary, flooding in some parts, serious rain actually happening in some parts, I should say. What's the very latest? What are you hearing on the ground there?
Well, we haven't seen anything major. We would have had reports of tree falling in a house up at the near Highgate area, damaging that. It was a board structure, and one of the members of the family would have gotten some injury. That is mainly. But for the thoroughfare, we've been traversing the thoroughfare with some level of ease since today. Our disaster coordinator would have been around activated. We have activated approximately 10 shelters.
Before you continue, I'm sorry, Mayor Wilson. The house where the tree fell on, just how bad is the damage there? And was anyone inside?
It is damaged. It was a serious incident, and the family members, one family member would have gotten some injury. She reported that she's had injury to her foot and her dresser in her room and furniture in a section of the house was damaged. I would have communicated with her via phone and advise her to seek medical attention. So it is that she had also reported that family members and community members were rallying around with her and trying to secure what is left of the house and to see how they can repair. I would have advised her to seek shelter at our nearest shelter to the area, but she's hesitant in going to the shelter.
September the 12th, 1988, has gone down in the annals of Jamaica's history.
And as most people have never experienced one before, they should take all the cautions that the ODP has been broadcast.
I have made it clear to the Prime Minister.
On the streets of Kingston, there were those who didn't seem to take it all seriously. Prime Minister Siaga was on the road early, warning of the danger.
Monday, September the 12th, 1988, has gone down in the annals of Jamaica's history. It was the day Hurricane Gilbert came, and with it came death and destruction. Hurricane warnings were out from the night of September the 11th. The nation braced itself for Gilbert, but in the aftermath, just over 40 people lost their lives and damage worth billions of dollars was left behind. In a matter of hours, Jamaica was ravaged by one of the most destructive hurricanes ever to hit the Western Hemisphere. In our Gilbert special, we go back to the week of September 12th and the days following that disastrous event. St. Thomas was the first parish to yield to Gilbert's onslaught. The hurricane hit land shortly after 11 o'clock on Monday morning, September 12th. It traveled in a westerly direction, so Morant Bay was where it made landfall. In a matter of minutes, it was the capital city's turn. And Yvette Rowe was on the streets of Kingston with Prime Minister Seaga early that morning.
In Kingston on Monday the 12th of September, the rain just kept coming, a continuation of the tropical storm conditions of Sunday night and a prelude to Hurricane Gilbert. Jamaica was bracing itself for a hurricane. News of hurricane precautions, flood warnings and the locations of shelters were on the airwaves all morning, yet on the streets of Kingston there were those who didn't seem to take it all seriously. Prime Minister Seaga was on the road early, warning of the danger. The message on radio and TV was that the hurricane was coming and it would hit Jamaica dead on, and people should find safe shelter.
This is a very dangerous and deadly hurricane, and as most people have never experienced one before, they should take all the cautions that the ODP has been broadcasting.
Even before the hurricane hit, trees were falling and roofs were lifting, a hint of worse to come. The eye of the hurricane made landfall in the east at Morant Point at around 12 p.m. Jamaica was to be surrounded by Hurricane Gilbert and rocked by its force. What seemed solid before became helpless against Gilbert's fury. Winds of more than 100 miles an hour buffeted trees, broke light poles and ripped roofs. The winds whipped up into a stinging mist. By the time the hurricane was in full force, most people were sitting out the storm inside, but some had other things on their minds as they ran in the rain. Then came the calm as the eye of the hurricane came over. People tried to make repairs while others just looked. Then, as if having paused to take a breath, Gilbert came again with winds from the opposite direction of even greater strength than before. These pictures were taken by our news team as the second wave struck Kingston.
And as we broadcast this newscast, we are advised that we are in fact in the second phase of hurricane. Several stores in the halfway tree area and along Cartersville Road. The Office of Disaster Preparedness.
After the hurricane passed, Prime Minister Seaga spoke to the nation.
We have just passed through the worst natural disaster that Jamaica has experienced in its modern history. I don't think I need to convince anyone of that fact after the frightening episode of this hurricane which has devastated Jamaica today.
Soon after this, TV would cease transmission, as it was clear the nation was without electricity. However, radio broadcasts continued throughout the day and night. One day's weather had destroyed homes, sent roofs flying and flooded roads and houses. International and local communications were knocked out, and with hundreds of utility poles broken and wires hanging, what power supplies weren't damaged had to be shut down for safety's sake. Thousands were without homes, the lucky ones staying with friends or relatives, and others in the hundreds of shelters around the country. The immediate needs were for food and shelter for those made homeless by the hurricane. In Kingston, Gilbert left a mess of trees and wires, rubble and broken glass. Many roads were blocked, but Gilbert's impact felt most in human terms. In the days following the hurricane, more evidence of Gilbert's destructive force in other parts of the island would become clear. But on Monday evening, there was little doubt that Jamaica would face a tremendous task in dealing with the emergency needs, cleaning up and rebuilding what Gilbert had laid to waste.
All of these tasks now confront us. But with a will, we'll put ourselves to work. And with the cooperation of everyone, I'm sure that we'll be able to recover from the damage that today has been inflicted upon us by the worst natural disaster in Jamaica's modern history.
After Hurricane Gilbert, the best way to see the damage to the island was from the air. The picture was not good. Prime Minister Siaga got his bird's-eye view aboard a US Air Force C-130 cargo plane. The plane had brought in relief supplies from the US, and it was to fly on to Montego Bay to drop off supplies there. The outward journey was via the south and west of the island. In Montego Bay, Prime Minister Siaga was briefed on the situation in the west by people working on relief efforts. The plane passed over the north and the east of the island on the journey back to Kingston. As he stepped from the plane, Prime Minister Siaga looked saddened by what he had seen, and he said he felt drained of emotion. Mr. Siaga said that after the immediate needs for food and shelter, the biggest problem would be housing.
We have got to sit down and work out the easiest way to put up structures that can be afforded for areas that have been badly hit or virtually wiped out.
Mr. Siaga said that more than 100,000 homes had been destroyed, with many more thousands badly damaged. Damage to crops was severe, particularly banana, cane and coconut. He said the poultry industry had been wiped out. Also on that flight was US Ambassador Michael Sotiris.
So right now we're addressing the immediate needs as requested by the emergency preparation people here in Jamaica and requested by the Prime Minister. Beyond that, it's going to be, of course, a bilateral situation of what other assistance we can give them.
During the next few days, Mr. Siaga was to tour the damaged areas from the ground, and he would later tell journalists that this not only confirmed the view from the air, but revealed even worse damage and the distress of people who'd been made homeless. In Hanover, he met with the members of the Disaster Committee, which he praised for having worked well and with unity that crossed political lines. As he spoke to the people in shelters, Mr. Siaga said it was a time for unity.
It's not a time for politics. It's a time for everybody to pull together.
The organizations of both political parties have been involved in food distribution, and representatives of the parties are members of parish disaster committees across the island.
I have made it clear to the Prime Minister that we offer, both in terms of myself personally and on behalf of the People's National Party, full solidarity, cooperation and support in all of the enormous efforts that have now to be made, first in the area of relief and secondly in the area of reconstruction.
I want to go on record as saying that I am deeply grateful to the representatives of both political parties who, in this hour of emergency and crisis, have not only kept the centers going with food, but have also, in addition, provided the main communication network that exists in the country through the party two-way radio systems that exist in both parties. Were it not for this, we would have been virtually totally without communication, and chaos would have reigned.
What made Gilbert so destructive was the fact that the eye came right over Jamaica, bringing with it the full force of hurricane winds. This was not a near miss or a hurricane that merely passed by. It has changed lives and landscapes and left Jamaicans across the island with the job of rebuilding and counting the cost, whilst others will have to find a way to foot the bill. Yvette Rowe.
Live on the White River Reggae Beach, where the fishermen are all gathered. Some of them are having a drink, playing some music. Yeah, man, and just ride it out, ride out the storm, you know.
We know we are going to lose a lot of fish bags. We are going to lose a lot of fish bags. We are going to lose a lot of things. But we just brace to it, you understand? But I try my best way. My life not gone.
All right, and how you feel about the upcoming storm? What you feel about it?
Well, we can't talk bad work.
The Watcher Scarf Market have been closed down. You see, we have to take out with things, put chapalin over it and all them things. So, business been bad. We are out of business right now. And the storm not coming. So, you must know, devastated.
All right. Have you experienced storms here in Otres before?
Yes, man. We got through Gilbert, and it was very, very bad. Out of food, out of water, out of light, everything, the whole place locked down. So I'm going to hope it all reach back to this. It's coming serious.
And how would you say this storm affects your business after it has passed?
Well, when it passes, place locked down, no tourists, no business, everything will take a good while to come back on foot. You know the stock wet up, rainfall, and the things them wet up and them spoil. So you know it's big a big problem for us as crab traders.
I mean, we don't see them it's going to lick away, much away, you know. But we have a try to stand up strong, yeah?
Live on the White River Reggae Beach, where the fishermen are.
Ready? You ready for me? You ready for him? Yeah, it's set up already. It's set on wheelchair set up. Watch them eye. Big time, mama. Hey, we just going up. Who are you? Who are you? Yeah, we know.
My wisdom warriors, yes, I may have left it. Wanna tell me what you think, wanna tell me how you feel about this. Put an honest opinion in the comment section. Like up the video, share it out, and subscribe to my channel. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. Big up on a nice clean self. One love.